Hello. Yes, today I am recording this a bit later because my body hurts so much. And today, this chapter 11, we are going to talk about bureaucracy. I sure I mispronounced it, but well, the noble act of doing paperwork. So I'm sorry for all of this disheveled talking and stuff like that. My body really does hurt. I had to go out and do some. Yes, I did go out, by the way, during the quarantine. It wasn't good, but I had to do it. And I went out and walked a lot. And for a body that's been mostly unmoving for the last 7 months, it wasn't good. So my feet just are killing me, and I mean really killing me. I am a heavyweight fella, for those of you who don't know what I look like. I am on the heavyweight side of the spectrum. That's an understatement, but uh, I used to be able to walk a lot because I don't know why, honestly. But yeah, since the quarantine, I haven't moved the house, I haven't moved out of the house, and it's bad, and so I walked a lot. I had to prove to myself that I can do it, and well, I am being punished for it. Oh, by the way, the drinks today I have two. Yes, both are syrup and water. One is the aforementioned cranberry syrup, and I just got another batch of Bureaucracy syrup, and so I have two half-filled bottle, one blue, one red, and it feels sort of weird, uh, good weird, to have like two different uh, drinks. So yeah, oh, I almost put them on the under the sunlight, and it would be warm, and I like them cold. As you probably can hear, I'm hoping not, but there is a mess outside. I'm not sure what is going on the street, but yeah. The windows are closed, by the way, but the building is kind of old. So, bureaucracy, paperwork. I don't know if you've seen the movie Brazil, but there's this character in it, Harry Tuttle, played by Robert De Niro. And he hates paperwork, and the reason that he's sort of a terrorist, sort of working outside of everything, is because he just hates paperwork. And it's a funny idea, and I love it, and I understand it honestly. Paperwork is just so bad. Wednesday, I had to. First of all, let me tell you why I need to do the paperwork. In Iranian universities and in Iranian in general, there is this thing called mandatory military service, which means that you either need to go to a university and study and get your degree, or you need to go to the mandatory military service and serve as a soldier. And when you get your degree, you need to do it too, but it's sort of postponing it. And when I went to the university like 5 years ago, I was given that postponing thing, but it runs out in like a few days. So I need to. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. That's weird because I usually never get any phone messages, phone calls, and yeah, I'm sorry for that. I would edit it out, but this is unedited. So the thing is, where I was, oh yeah, uh, it runs out in a few days, so I need to postpone it again. And for that, I need to do a bit of paperwork. Now, since the quarantine, I hadn't gone to the university, so I needed to do a bunch of paperwork for the semester that I missed, apparently. So I needed to go from my university to the central offices, which is like um, 15 minutes away. A long walk, 15 minutes away by car. And so I had to go that route like a couple of times just because my university, Sure, is a bit of a mess. So, yeah. They couldn't decide what I would do. One said go there. I went there. Say why do you come here? Go back there and do that stuff, and then go back here and do that. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess. And so yeah, and it's not done. It's not even done. They just needed. I paid them like a lot of fucking money for tuition, and they said go home, do this thing on a website, and come back here on Saturday. So I am going there tomorrow morning, and I already feel like my body is screaming for help because oh my god, everything just hurts. Everything hurts. Anyways, I'm sorry for the whining, but I'm serious. My body is hurting a lot, and that sort of brings me to the whole thing. Bureaucracy as a whole is kind of a menace. I don't understand the reason. I understand the reason for it. I don't understand the reason for it to be doing with paper. I mean, why? Why are we still doing paperwork? Um, First of all, it's a pandemic, so it's better if we don't just trade papers back and forth all the time. And even if it's okay to do that and you want to do that, which is fucking weird, why? Why are we just producing more paper trash? All of this stuff can be done electronically, but why are we doing it with papers? And there's this thing, Sure, God don't bless them, is trying to become a bit more modernized. And when I first went there, they said, "Oh well, go to this website and do this thing, and we will tell you what to do." Then I went to the central office for another thing, which it's not important, but doing the standardized test concours, my percentage for English language was 100%, if you couldn't tell. And so when you do above a certain percentage, you don't need to take a class because they say, well, you already know this. So I I needed to bring some proof that well I did score 100%, and I did. I brought it to them, and then I said, well, I am here. Let me ask. And the thing that they wanted to modernize it with like a couple of days. When I went there, did it in like 3 minutes. They said, well, we opened your page, go back to your university and fill out these forms, bring one to the accounting department and pay a bunch of money to us because of course, and you can then come back here and we'll add it in our system and we'll tell you what to do. So yeah, fuck bureaucracy is what I'm trying to say. And while I was walking, my feet sort of feeling broken, and I was ready to just pray to any gods of old and new to just take a break. I was mad. Um, and I was thinking that, well, I don't want to do this thing ever again. But then I realized, well, I live in Iran, which is not ideal, and I will probably need to do this a lot more. And it's sort of brought me here. Well, first of all, I'm not going to lie, I had no idea what to talk about this week. Things have been relatively okay. Things on Twitter have been okay. People seem to don't hate me as much this week. Well, we'll get to them next week. I'm sure by next week can get people to hate me. I met up with a couple of friends, and yeah, things are not bad. So I really didn't know what to talk about, and then I realized, well, the biggest thing that happened this week that I am paying for is the bureaucracy. And yeah, when that finishes, I need to get back on my movie. The thing is dragging on a bit because I'm waiting for everyone to sort of get free. And yeah, I'm sorry. This sucks. But I don't understand bureaucracy, to be honest. I understand the needing to archive. I do love archiving stuff. I do love organization, and I think those are important stuff not only for getting the work done today, but for what will happen tomorrow. I always envy that in some of the more advanced countries, unlike Iran, which has a very poor background in archiving. In some more advanced countries, you can go and just learn about a bunch of historical figures through this archiving process of old newspapers and stuff like that. You can realize what your ancestors were doing. And I always love that. All I have from my ancestors are stories, somewhat funny, some kind of depressing, and maybe I should do one on my grandfathers because they were kind of interesting people. You know what? I'm going to write it down here to talk about your grandfathers, uh, and I will make, if nothing happens by next week, and I'm hoping for that, I will talk about my grandfathers. Um, the Baker Akbar, Shatar Akbar, and Dr. Mehdi Aminfa. But I do understand the need for it, and I do understand the allure of it. I don't understand the method. I think it needs a lot of modernization. I think it needs a lot more competence. I'm sure there is a reason behind it. And things get worse in Iran because each department doesn't really understand what they should do. What I mean is, you go to a department, for example, the accounting department, and they tell you you need these forms. Go to this website, download the forms, print them, fill them, and bring them to these people. You do that. Then you go to the education department, the education management department, مدیریت آموزش. And then they say, well, we don't do these forms anymore. These are some outdated forms. So you need to go to this website, download these forms, and print them and fill them out and do that. And you say, okay, you do that. And well, in the meanwhile, you're thinking, well, why the fuck would the accounting department then told me to not do that? You go um, to the group manager. I study cinema, by the way. So I go to the cinema group, and there they say, oh, no, we don't do forms anymore. Just go to this website. There is this menu, and you can do anything you want through that menu. And I'm like, okay, but they said we need a form. And when I go back to them, they say, oh, no, you do the electronic thing, but that's just, beta and all of that stuff. Go and do the forms again. And it's just a big clusterfuck of who says who and what to do. And it's, oh my God, I'm just, I already feel tired thinking about I need to go back to that environment tomorrow because it doesn't make sense, and nobody knows what is the definitive answer. What do you need to do? For example, for this mandatory military thing, I need to bring some documents. I know that much to someone. To who, God knows. I talk to a person, they say, no, we need to go to the central offices of Iranian military in that street, that neighborhood. And then I talk to someone else, and they say, no, 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 you need to go to the, we call it plus 10 police بعلاوه. I don't know why. It's sort of like they do driver's license, all of that, and there's passports, all of that. And they say, no, 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 you need to go to one of their offices, any office. And so, which one is the correct answer? I would say I'm going to ask an expert, but I don't think we have that. I don't think Iranian bureaucracy has any experts. It varies from department to department, from manager to manager, from person to person. It's a clusterfuck, and let me tell you, I just can't understand why so many people seem to be mesmerized by the process of bureaucracy and trying to get your work done within that system. It seems like an antiquated system at this point to do it with paper. I think they need to be a couple of websites, and you can do it online. Nowadays, you don't even need to scan anything. You can just take a picture if you need physical evidence. And the antiquated system just creates more confusion because which form do you want me to fill? It's sort and don't get me wrong. I understand there is this joke of bureaucracy too from what's that Douglas Adams book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That there is this. Oh my God, I don't remember anything right now. I'm that tired and I'm delirious a little bit. I had to take some painkillers, and my mind just waltz when I take painkillers. I don't need weed to get high or cocaine to get high or drugs to get high. I get high on painkillers, which I understand is actually a really serious addiction, and I'm sorry for that joke. I'm already sorry for that joke in poor taste. But yeah, it's sort of, I don't know how to describe it. There are this my mind just seems warped, and there are this race of aliens in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy who are like parodies of bureaucrats and bureaucracy, and it's funny. It's actually kind of a funny premise and joke. But yeah, I understand that that is the experience. It's antiquated. It doesn't make any sense. And the fact is, bureaucracy, I think, was made to not make sense and be confusing so that not anyone can do it. I'm sure it's those tinfoil hats conspiracy thing, but no, this is all the ploy because they want to be employable. So they make all of these forms make no sense. You read it and you say, okay, this says relief from military service, but the text doesn't make any sense. And you tell me I don't need this form. I need a form that says temporary relief from military service. Okay, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm sorry for this episode. I'm pretty sure this one is not going to be very well remembered. It's kind of also late in the day that I'm recording it and I'm going to upload it. So, yeah. Again, don't forget to send me a message on Anchor if you want, and I will display it play it at the first of the next episode, and might even shape the next episode. And if you're on YouTube, check this on Anchor. If you're on Anchor, check this on YouTube. You may find some of my old projects on YouTube as well. And I hope to see you next week.